Okay, so we have 3 different Schuyler Bibles here today, and I'm really excited to show you these because they're all unique and different, but they're all fantastic Bibles that are Schuyler Quentel NKJV Bibles. So one is a personal size Quentel, smaller. It's a goatskin cover. Then we have a full-size Quentel and a calfskin cover. And this is my newest edition, but I actually plan to use this as a giveaway. More details to come. This will be a giveaway in August of 2019. And then we have here the full-size Quentel in goatskin. So we're going to take a look at these, compare them, and just show you some of the similarities and differences. And I think we'll start with these two here, the 2 full-size ones. And obviously the color scheme is different. So with the color scheme on this one, we have blue, and then we have gold gilding with blue art gilding underneath. It's a really nice color scheme. Personally, I would actually lean toward a gold gilding with, a silver gilding with blue underneath. I think that would be awesome. But that's been done a lot, and this is a good one too. So this is blue and calfskin, and if you look at the calfskin here, you can see the grain is very small, and it's very smooth actually. It's got a stiffness to it. I'm not the first person to say this, but if you get a calfskin Schuyler Quentel, it's going to be a stiffer cover. It is perimeter stitched, and everything on their Bibles is absolutely meticulous. There's the spine with the raised hubs and the Schuyler logo. Inside we have the card here, and you'll see it is a paste down liner. So they just pasted that liner, it's synthetic, and they pasted that inside. Really nice. Of course, has the Jerusalem cross on the cover, as most of their Bibles do. And the inside of these Bibles is actually very similar. I forgot to mention too that this is the newest one. This is 2019, and this is from a couple years ago, I believe, is when it was manufactured. And it's still a really great Bible, but one of the differences is the paper. So just continuing on with this one, though, the paper on this is a 28 GSM, 28 grams per square meter, and it allows it to be a little bit thinner, but still really really good quality paper. And you know, it's a big Bible. These measure over 9 inches tall by 6 inches or more wide. But where you see a difference is that this one here is, I'm not sure actually what the measurement is with the cover, but it's basically 0.3 inches smaller, I think, on the text block than the original or the previous edition. So they're really similar size-wise, very similar, but this one is thinner. See if I can give you another look at it here. And even though it's not a big difference, it is a difference. And so the stiffness of the cover, it being thinner, does it allow it to be a little bit easier to carry. Not a huge difference, but definitely a difference because the stiffness of the cover allows you to just be able to hold it a little bit more easily. That being said, let's take a look at this one. This is a goatskin cover, and there's the grain on that. And inside of this cover, I've pointed out this before, this is actually a leather liner. So even the inside on this is leather. This is a paste down synthetic over here. This is a sewn in leather liner. So now, I mean, these are both really good quality Bibles, but this is even a step up. I mean, this is the top of the line. This is gold gilding with red art gilding underneath. You can barely see it, I think, on the camera. You might be able to see it. This is really dark, and I'm going to show you that in the newer Quentels, it seems that the art gilding is so dark, you can actually see a hue coming out through there, whereas in this one, it looks very gold. You don't see the red coming through. However, it's more faint when you turn the pages, whereas this one is a more bold color underneath. And again, the camera is actually not picking it up as strongly as what you see in person. Another difference between these Bibles is the ribbons. This has a smaller ribbon to it. I believe the goatskin would have the thicker ribbon. This one does. And I'm talking about if you get the newest edition, what kind of a ribbon will come with it. So I'm sure in the comments someone can verify, but we've got the ribbon here, as you can see, is a thicker ribbon. It's double-sided satin, so it has a sheen on both sides. And the length of the ribbons, I think, is pretty similar, but this is just a straight cut on the previous edition. Here we have similar size ribbon. This Bible has good rhythm, good ribbons. There we go. So, yeah, actually it might be a little bit shorter, I would say. The ribbon is a little bit shorter. But again, the ribbons are different in the calfskin than they are in the goatskin. So, you know, you can see some of the differences. This also does not have art gilding around the edges. There's no line gilded around the edges. And here you do have one. So it's all these little details that really cause this to be at a higher price point. If you look at the two, you'll see that this is a more costly Bible. This is going to run you more in the range of $200. But the newest edition is the same size as this one. Even in the goatskin, it's going to be thinner than this previous edition. So probably the big question that people have as we look at these is which paper is better? And this question has been addressed and answered by other reviewers, but I'm going to give my fresh perspective on it. I really do like the paper. The paper in any Quentel it's like cotton soft, honestly. It's hard to even describe. It's just such good paper. It's thin in this one, but not a lot of see-through. This one here is a heftier paper, still that cotton soft feel to it, but it's a little bit heftier. Not much though. I'm telling you, when you have them both here, it's not as much of a difference as you might think. And so the real difference is going to be the thickness and the weight. And this is a goatskin, so I'm not sure what this would be like if you're comparing both in goatskin, but this is definitely a heavier Bible, and this one is a bit lighter. So I'm not necessarily giving the exact. You can go to Bible Buying Guide, and Randy does an amazing job of showing you the exact specifications. Go to that channel if you really want to get the detailed specifications on these Bibles. But what I will say is just in terms of feel, this one again is more portable, lighter. It's definitely noticeable. So again, the grain on this being calfskin, it's really nice. You can see some of the unique lines in there from the leather. But this, I would say, is definitely a step up in quality. I prefer goatskin. However, one of the problems that you have with goatskin is it's softer, and so if you're trying to hold this, it doesn't hold as well as this one here. This one is full size, a full-size Quentel, but it holds really nicely. So it really comes down to preference. You're going to save some money if you get the calfskin, and you're still going to get the beautiful text block. These both are the 11-point Milo font that you always get in these Schuyler Quentels, with the beautiful color scheme of the red in certain places, the black text. As has been pointed out, this is probably a darker print than in the previous edition. And let me just see here what the red letter looks like. Yeah, it looks really good. The red letter is wonderful in this one. It's really good in the previous edition too. But if anything, they've made an improvement on the print. Now this actually, I forgot, this isn't a red letter text in this one, but my PSQ, the personal size I'm about to show you, is red letter. So let's get to that one. So here's the PSQ, and what it is this Bible miniaturized a little bit. So again, when you see things on camera, it really doesn't look that different. I mean, that doesn't look incredibly different. We're talking about a few inches. Trust me, it's a lot different. This is really, really portable. Now, in terms of thickness, they've actually brought the new one down to the thickness of the PSQ, whereas the original, or the previous edition, I don't think this is actually the original, is actually quite a bit thicker. So what you might like if you ever wanted to get a previous edition is that this paper does have kind of that hefty feel. So if you want just something that's like really hefty and feels super, super strong and durable, this has that feel to it. And there is something nice about that. Maybe writing in this might be better, but I'm not sure about that. I have a feeling if you use the right kind of pens, archival pens, you could write in any of these Bibles. I don't generally write in my Bibles, so I'm not too worried about that. This Bible is so cool. It's basically like the other ones. They did streamline it down a little bit. It doesn't have a concordance in the back, but it still has the maps. And again, being goatskin, it has all the little details like the gilding line here, and has the leather lining on the inside. They're all edge lined, so they're going to last a long time. This, again, being a newer one, you can see hues of red already underneath the gold if you're seeing it live. Although red under gold doesn't stand out as much as blue under gold, I have to say. And it's a more bold art gilding underneath when you open it. I've said this before, this is, I think, the most beautiful Bible. Also, I noticed recently, I was thinking about it, this PSQ that I have, goatskin, out of all these ones, smells the most leathery. So I'm not sure why that is. Could be, you know, having to do with the dye and the original leather, and maybe when it was manufactured and when I got it. But all those factors together, this is a really good smelling Bible. The pagination on these is the same. I don't think anything has changed. So we've got Isaiah 65, 66 here. Let's go there. Yep, looks to be the same. We're on page 989 here, and we're on page 989 there. And so any Schuyler that you get, any Quentel that you get in these editions at least, they're going to be the same pagination. So there it is in that one. They're all the same. I love that. So whatever Bible you're using, if you're switching back and forth, visually you're always going to get the same thing on each page, which is great when you're studying. Say you're doing your desk study in your full-size Quentel, and then you're going to go share it with someone, you're going to teach somewhere, you can bring this with you, and when you look down and you're teaching, it's going to have the same look. Everything's going to be in the same place as what you studied on your desk. So these are all awesome Bibles. They really are. The details, the quality of materials, the color schemes on them. I mean, Schuyler, you guys know what you're doing. That's all I can say. You know what you're doing, and these are some of the best Bibles out there. That being said, there's some of the highest prices out there. They're actually, I would say for what you're getting, they're not as high priced as some other Bibles in terms of what you're getting. But this calfskin, it's a pretty simple, straightforward Bible. It's still going to run you right now about $120. It's a beautiful Bible, should last quite a while. But if you want to step up to the goatskin, I think it'll last you even longer and has even more beautied detail. but that's going to run you about $200 for a Bible like this. And then the PSQ, I actually can't remember. Someone can verify this. I'm thinking they're about $180, $185, somewhere in that range. So that's for the goatskin personal size Quentel. Still pretty expensive. But I'm telling you, these are beautiful Bibles, which God's Word merits to have a beautiful presentation, but they're going to last a long time. By the way, one other thing I want to say about color scheme. This is just my personal preference. I like all of these, and there's other myriad of colors you can get. Go to evangelicalbible.com. But the color scheme in this is pretty simple. You got the blue with the gold, and then the blue underneath the gold there. It's really nice. This is brown cover with the gold and then red underneath, and a couple of gold ribbons. But I have to say, this green with gold, and I just love that there are 3 gold ribbons in this, and you can see they're actually different shades. I really like this this ribbon in the back here. It's this bright gold. I just love the ribbons that they have in their Bibles. They're really pretty. Let me see if I can get that last one out. Yeah. So you can see here, they've just got really pretty ribbons in these Bibles, but particularly I love that bright gold one they have. And I'm not even a ribbon guy. This again has straight cut ribbons. These ones actually are angle cut ribbons. So that seems to be a difference in the newer editions than the older edition. So that's just to look at some comparisons. I mean, we're getting close to 20 minutes here, and I don't want to go on forever, but I knew a lot of people might want to see the difference. And that is the Quentel from a couple years ago. Then we've got the updated edition in the calfskin, and it is more streamlined. And then we've got the PSQ. So depending on how you want to use your Bible, I would say all of these are great options. And of course, you could get a full size and a personal size so that you have one for study and for use in more teaching situations where you're just standing in one place more. And then this one where you're going to be on the go or moving around when you're teaching. So there you go. That's a comparison of 3 different Schuyler Quentels from a fresh perspective.